dealership in the country want Dave the Dealmaker.
I hope you're right.
After we talked with Lou, I headed over to Mainline Broadcasting in Chambersburg in search of Rick Alexander of the Rick and Lisa Morning Show, the #1 radio show in the tri-state area.
Okay, we are honored and delighted to have my next guest. He is the co-host of the most popular morning radio show in the area, none other than Rick Alexander from the Rick and Lisa Morning Show. Rick, thank you so much for being here. We are honored to have you on the show.
Glad I could be here, Dealmaker.
How have you been?
Very good. And yourself?
Been great. Now, Rick, I know that you've been doing the Rick and Lisa Morning Show a long time. How long have you been doing Rick and Lisa?
Well, actually, it's about 22 years. I've been in at the same station at Mix 95.1 WIKZ for 25 years. It's just blown by. It's and you know what? I still feel like the 13-year-old kid who got interested in radio. When I was just a young kid, I was just enthralled and loved the medium. You know, I've been blessed to be able to live my dream. It's really cool, and I've hadn't had to move around the country to do it. And this area is a great area to be in. So I'm very, very blessed.
25 years there.
That's
and
right.
22 years.
I started when I was 4. So.
you and I both wish.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, what got you interested? You've told me before that like radio was more than just an interest for you. It was kind of a fascination.
Yeah, well, first of all, I started with the music. You know, I really just love the music, and I think that's what draws in a lot of people. But after that, you begin to really just, you love the competition, you love all the different elements, you love being a part of something that serves the public, and that's really what we do. You know, radio has a lot more competition today than when I started, but a good local radio station talking about the area, serving the public, being a part of living among the people, that's what it's all about.
Rick, you know, your business, a lot of people look at it and say it's you know, there's not even work, you're just out there talking. But I know there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. What would you say is the toughest part of what you do? Getting
up at 4:30 every morning, by far. I mean, Dave, what I do, it's not a job. It's fun. Like I said, I'm blessed to be able to get up and be able, it's like, they pay me to do this? Not as much as I'd like, but they pay me to do it, you know. And but getting up at 4:30, and it took me, I've been doing the morning show with Lisa now 22, 23 years, and it took me about the first 10 years to get used to that. And you know, I'm still not naturally a morning guy, but that's the toughest part.
4:30 in the morning.
That's great.
That's impressive. Okay, now Rick, Lisa is more to you than just the morning co-host with you. She is also your wife.
That is correct.
Now, how did all that transpire?
Well, it's an interesting story, Dave. I was actually working afternoons at Mix 95.1. At that time, we were called Z95. And we had a couple people leave the station. And the program director at the time wanted to move me into mornings. And I said, I'm not really a morning guy. As I told you, I'm not getting up at 4:30 in the morning. And I said, I'll tell you what. I'll do it. If you don't like what I'm doing or I don't like doing it, we'll just forget about it. So anyway, I did move to mornings and never looked back. I did mornings by myself for about a year. In the meantime, to replace my position in the afternoon, Lisa was hired from a station in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the funny thing about it is, you know, it shows you how times have changed. At that point, having a female on the air, particularly in the afternoon, was just not common. Females on the air, in general, weren't that common at the time. So it was kind of like, I don't know if we should hire a female for this particular job. But she was the best person for the job, and rightfully she was hired. And after a couple of months, it was obvious that I was flailing by myself in morning drive because, you know, Lisa's the brains behind the show. I just show up. My tough part is getting up at 4:30 every morning. That's my contribution. If I can get up, get showered, and shaved, we've done a good thing. But so she had an interest in doing mornings, and the program director at the time, we convinced him, and stupid enough, we were already dating before that. And
whoa.
Yeah.
Back up. How did we go from we hired this new person that was the right person for the job to we were already dating?
If I knew how that happened, I'd let you know. But actually, it was funny because being a female, the only female on an all boys club, if you will, I kind of said to the guys, just back off. Don't try to ask her out or anything like that. You know, she's one of us. Don't do that. Well, then I kind of did the thing I told everybody not to. It just kind of happened. We were the same age, shared a lot of the same interests, and before you know it,
So
but,
you put the old block on everybody else, and
more or less,
right in.
More or less, yeah. When it's good to be king. You know
Hey, way to go! All right.
So we eventually started dating, and the wisdom of the boss let us go on the air together. And a couple of years later, we married. But we never. The funny part about it is, as much as we talk about our lives on the air today, back then it was a different kind of industry. It was more comedy and more. It wasn't as real. It wasn't about our lives. And so, and the other thing is, we didn't want to be thought of as just being a married couple. We wanted to be accepted for what we did on the air. So we never really talked about it. Matter of fact, we'd go on vacation, and one person would talk about it, the other person couldn't. Well, finally, in 1992, she became pregnant with our son, Jonathan. We thought, we better talk about this.
Cat's kind of out of the bag at that point.
So on Valentine's, I'm not sure. Valentine's Day, 1992, we did a promotion where we had a number of listeners renew their wedding vows with the local judge. And at that time, then we admitted that we were married on the air. And then in June, Jonathan was born, and we named him on the air. Somewhere I still have a tape of that. And over the years, we found that more and more people just like real people on the air. If they can relate to you. We live average lives. We're average people, and people can relate to the things we get into.
Okay, Mr. Celebrity Test Driver, you drove the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yes, I did.
Drove that for about a week.
Yes, I did.
First impression.
First impression. Well, I drive a minivan, so everything compared to that, it's an old minivan, and it's a gas guzzler too. So it looked kind of small at first to me, but when I got into it, it's like, wait a minute, this has got a lot of room, and it's really well built. It's really well put together. Years ago, Hyundai, when it came out, probably didn't have the reputation that it has today. But man, that's a good vehicle. I mean,
Hyundai has worked very hard on getting into the upper echelon of automobile manufacturers. I mean, they've got some $40,000 cars out now, and they give the best warranty in the business. So yeah, I mean, Hyundai's a real car now.
It's got a nice pickup. That's something I really noticed in getting in and around traffic, and it's a nice ride. It really is.
Now, obviously, one of the big concerns now is gas mileage and fuel economy.
Well, it wasn't for me, Dave, because you were paying for the gas.
Yes.
But
what did you find out with gas mileage?
Well, I was really impressed. I like the fact that it tells you what your gas mileage is right there on the dash. I mean, that's something you can't guess about anymore. And to know that and to be able
It'll change the way you drive.
It can if you're paying for the gas. But like I said, you were no.
I noticed you went through a lot there.
No, it's a gas mileage for the pep that sucker has, and the gas mileage you get. It's a nice combination.
It does have a lot of get up and go.
Yes, it does.
When you tell it to.
Yes.
Rick, if you had to say, well, who's the right consumer for the Santa Fe? Who fits this vehicle well?
Well, it's a good family vehicle. You got plenty of room to get 4 people in there, and it's an SUV, which is important, particularly around here. There's people like driving through the mountains, and we get our fair share of snow. So you've got that capability with it, and once again, it's not going to suck your wallet dry in these gas challenged times.
Well, Rick, thank you once again for being on the show. We are honored to have you, and as always, I'll be listening. I hope you folks will too.